Y&R spoilers reveal the story of Alan Laurent, aka Martin Laurent, on The Young and the Restless has never been short on drama. Known as a man of mystery, Martin has not only made everyone in Genoa City suspicious but also ignited a tense war revolving around the secrets of wealthy families. However, while many are still unable to grasp his true motives, Jack Abbott has once again revealed his scheming nature, ready to set a clever trap to lure Martin back after a long absence. A surprising return. After a suspicious period of silence, Martin Laurent suddenly returns to Genoa City, putting Jack Abbott and Tracy Abbott on guard. Their concerns about Martin's motives have become a common concern in the Abbott family, especially when the strange events at the clinic recently seem to be related to him. Although Chance Chancellor, the police officer assigned to investigate the case, found no concrete evidence to link Martin or Alan to the disturbances, Jack felt strongly that there was something else going on. Tracy was the first to notice some unusual signs when she saw Alan or Martin exhibiting strange behavior. She knew that something was wrong. After sharing these suspicions with Chance, both of them could not ignore the possibility that Martin might be involved in the incident at the clinic. Although Chance admitted that there was no solid evidence, he still could not rule out the possibility that someone behind all the disturbances was secretly manipulating them. Jack and Tracy's conversation. After the conversation with Chance, Jack realized that he could not let this situation drag on any longer. With a cold and cunning personality, Jack quickly proposed a plan that could change the situation. He wanted to use psychological tactics to trick Alan into returning home. Jack knew that Alan was deeply interested in the Abbott family and would not be able to resist the lure of a reunion, especially when it came to Tracy's family, with whom he still had a complicated relationship. "Tracy, if we can make Alan think we need him, maybe he won't be able to resist coming back," Jack said, his eyes shining with determination. Tracy, though cautious and skeptical, had to admit that Jack's plan might be their best chance of dealing with this threat. But how to create an identity trap without exposing any loopholes? Fooling Martin. With the plan laid out, Jack began to make elaborate preparations. He decided to set up a trap with Tracy's help. They would create a false situation, making Martin believe that Tracy was in danger and needed help. Of course, with his love for his sister, Alan or Martin would not be able to stay out of the game. Jack cleverly made Martin believe that he was the only one who could save Tracy and the Abbott family from an impending danger. Throughout this process, Jack did not forget to prepare for any unexpected situations. They could not let Martin suspect the plan too early, so every detail was carefully calculated. They used elaborate tricks to pretend that everything could threaten Tracy's life, forcing Martin to take action. The confrontation between Jack and Martin. Finally, when the plan began to work, Jack and Tracy welcomed the moment they had prepared for so long. Martin, although still cautious, could not resist the invitation to return to Genoa City to rescue Tracy. However, when he arrived, Jack was ready to expose Martin's true colors. The confrontation between Jack and Martin is not just a mind game, but also a battle for control of the Abbott family. Tracy stands in the middle of this battle, knowing that things will not stop there. She knows that although Jack has tricked Martin into returning, the threat is not completely extinguished. She must continue to learn about what happened in Alan/Martin's past and face unforeseen risks. The unknown. With Martin back, things in Genoa City could change completely. Although Jack's plan seems to have succeeded, traces of the truth still lurk deep inside. Martin, although a con man, is very smart and will not be easily defeated. This creates a tense scenario where no one can fully trust anyone, and every decision carries great risks. While Jack and Tracy continue to figure out how to deal with Martin, Chance Chancellor will continue to follow the clues and may uncover more important details about Alan/Martin's past. Will Chance be able to help the Abbott family get rid of this threat? And will Alan/Martin be able to continue to hide the secrets he holds? The battle between Jack Abbott and Martin Laurent has begun, and while Jack's plan may seem to have succeeded, this dangerous game has only just begun. The relationships between the characters on The Young and the Restless will continue to be tense, with deceptions, secrets yet to be revealed, and important decisions that could change the outcome of this power struggle. This story will certainly not stop at deceiving a mysterious man, but will open up a series of unexpected events, continuing to keep viewers glued to the screen. The Young and the Restless has no shortage of surprises, but the return of Alan Laurent or Martin Laurent to the Abbott family has created huge waves not only in their family but also throughout Genoa City. In a series of tense events, Jack Abbott will once again have to use his sophisticated tactics to deal with this mysterious man. However, Jack's sister Tracy Abbott has her own ideas about how to approach the matter, which complicates their confrontation. A surprise call. When Jack Abbott realizes that Martin Laurent is still lurking in the shadows, he decides to take action. To do this, Jack relies on more than just conventional tricks, but also comes up with an elaborate plan, set a trap that will make Martin believe that he can still gain a place in the Abbott family. Determined to stop Martin from manipulating everyone, Jack calls Alan or Martin and suggests a special wedding. Alan, Jack says over the phone, his voice calm but full of meaning. If you come back to Genoa City, I believe it would be meaningful for the Abbott family if we had a private wedding. Tracy has always wanted that, and I think it would be a good opportunity for you to prove your loyalty to the family. With this invitation, Jack not only wants to create a favorable situation for the family, but also wants Alan to believe that his presence can help ease any tension in the Abbott family. In contrast to Jack's caution, Alan or Martin is immediately attracted to Jack's offer. He agrees to return to Genoa City after completing some work in Paris. This makes Jack feel the threat from Martin closer than ever, but he believes that this is an opportunity for them to clarify the truth. Tracy and Jack. Differences in approach. Although Jack seems confident in his plan, Tracy Abbott, his cautious younger sister, does not completely agree with his approach. Tracy knows that there is something very wrong with Martin's story, but she also realizes that if she does not confront him directly, they will never know the truth. After hearing Jack's story about his call with Alan, Tracy decided to help him understand more about Martin's strange behavior. Tracy didn't want to stop at just staging a fake wedding and waiting for the unknown. She wanted to confront Alan, to look him in the eye and see if she could tell that something was wrong. Jack, I can't just stand here and pretend that everything is fine. I need to look Alan in the eye and figure out for myself what's going on, Tracy insisted. Jack, who was practical and somewhat skeptical, was against Tracy's idea. He feared that confronting Alan might cause unforeseen risks, but Tracy was adamant. She believed that only by confronting Martin directly could they find out who he really was, and whether his return was part of a more sinister plan he was carrying out. It's too dangerous, Jack replied, his voice strained. If we do that, we'll be putting everything in the hands of someone we can't fully trust. But Tracy didn't change her mind. She wanted to face the truth, to understand that her feelings for Alan weren't a mistake. She believed that only by confronting Alan would they be able to unlock all the mysteries he carried. Tracy's plan. Confront Alan. As soon as Alan or Martin got off the plane and entered Genoa City, Tracy's plan would be put into action. She and Jack would need to confront him. But this time it wouldn't be as simple as before. Tracy didn't just want to prove that she still loved Alan, she wanted to convince him that things had changed. Tracy would do anything to make him understand that her feelings were real and that she couldn't let anything change that love. However, once Martin appears, things will not be as Tracy imagined. The questions will pile up and Tracy will have to face difficult choices. Perhaps she will realize that Alan is not who she thought, but someone else entirely. The mysterious and dangerous Martin Laurent. Everything will push Tracy into a situation where she has to make decisions that will affect not only her family but the safety of the entire Genoa City. Meanwhile, Jack will have to grapple with the conflict between protecting his family and the tactics he thinks will protect Tracy from all dangers. Can he accept that Tracy has a reason to want to face the truth, or will he continue to protect her from what he sees as potential danger? Confrontation with Martin. Finally, when Alan officially returns to Genoa City, the confrontation between the Abbott family and Martin will come to a climax. Tracy will have to face the truth about the man she once loved. Can she face the terrible things Martin did in the past? And can Jack protect his family from the evil plots Martin may have planned all along? The story between Tracy, Jack and Martin will not only be a battle between love and betrayal, but also a race against time to solve Martin's deepest secrets. The Abbott family will face challenges they never imagined, and every decision will affect not only their future but the safety of everyone involved. Conclusion, truth and choices. As Jack Abbott and Tracy Abbott try to face Martin Laurent, they will have to face painful truths about their families and secrets that could change everything. This story promises to continue to unfold with big surprises. And every choice Tracy and Jack make will shape not only their lives, but also those of Genoa City. Genoa City has seen its fair share of big waves, but none compared to the Newman family gatherings, where every event brings surprises and tension. One afternoon in the Newman household, Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson stopped everyone in their tracks, not only because of the event they brought, but also because of the emotions and predictions about the future. They decided to announce that they were a couple again. And this will surely not only change their relationship but also deeply impact the relationship within the Newman family. Adam and Chelsea, a couple again? The Newman family gatherings are never short of drama, but this time it's not just about discussing work or family issues. When Adam and Chelsea announced that they were getting back together, the attention of the entire family was immediately on them. Despite their rocky past, from personal conflicts to traumatic events for family members, they had decided to give each other a chance. The entire Newman family was present. Victor, Nikki, Victoria, and Nick, each with their own thoughts on the reunion. Victor Newman, who had always had a special affection for Adam despite their troubled past, couldn't hide his joy at the news. It was one of the rare moments when Victor felt proud of his son. "This is great news, Adam," Victor said, his eyes shining. "I believe this is the right decision for the kids." Unable to hide their joy, the Newman family raised their glasses in a warm toast. Everyone opened their glasses and drank to celebrate Adam and Chelsea's reunion, a sweet moment of reunion after a long and challenging time. In the joyful atmosphere, an important topic was still not discussed. Victor, with his rich life experience and desire to maintain the strength of his family, suddenly revealed the wedding. Although he did not say it clearly, Victor changed the atmosphere in the room somewhat. "It's great to see you two back together. Maybe we can have a family wedding soon," Victor said, his eyes filled with hope. But Adam and Chelsea both shook their heads slightly. Although neither of them denied their relationship, they still did not think that far. They needed time to understand and determine whether this relationship could last in the long run. "We're just starting over, Victor," Adam said, looking at Chelsea with a small smile. "There are no specific plans for a wedding at the moment. Still, there is no denying that a wedding between Adam and Chelsea would be a memorable event. Not only for the Newman family but for the entire Genoa City community." Despite the amicable atmosphere of the evening, not everyone was entirely happy about the reunion. Nikki and Victoria, despite their own personal relationships with Chelsea, were still feeling a little wary. While they couldn't deny that Adam's maturity had been a big factor in his relationship with Chelsea, they couldn't help but worry about Adam's ability to maintain stability in his love life. In a private conversation between Nikki and Chelsea, Nikki gently urged Chelsea to be careful, despite her desire to see Chelsea happy. "Chelsea, I hope this is the right decision," Nikki said, a worried look in her eyes. "I just want you to be sure that Adam has really changed." Chelsea sensed Nikki's concern, but she still felt a great deal of faith in Adam. "He's grown up a lot," Chelsea said, looking away. "This time he's not just someone I love, but someone I can trust." While Nikki's concerns were valid, Chelsea was confident that this reunion would be different. She sensed a change in Adam and believed that he had truly matured. Adam and Nick's predictions. With Adam and Chelsea's situation discussed by the family, Adam couldn't help but comment on Nick's situation. His younger brother, who had always worried the family about his love life. In a private moment between Adam and Chelsea, Adam made a prediction about Nick's relationship with Sharon. "I actually think Nick will get back together with Sharon," Adam said, a small smile flickering across his face. "He'll move back in with her in their little house. That's where he feels safe." Chelsea looked at Adam, surprised by this prediction. "Do you really think so?" she asked. However, when Nick heard what Adam had said, he was not too surprised but also did not agree with the idea. "You think I'm going to get back together with Sharon and live in that little house?" Nick said, looking a little displeased. "I don't think so. Sharon and I may be good friends, but that doesn't mean we're going to get back together." Nick and Victoria, a straight talk. After that, Nick shared with Victoria about Adam and Chelsea's reunion. Although he was not too enthusiastic about the idea of his brother's reunion, Nick had to admit one thing. At least Adam is less unstable when he's happy. That's probably a good sign. Victoria looked at her brothers, feeling a little worried about Adam and Chelsea, but she also understood that stability in Adam's love life might be necessary for him to be truly successful in his work and family. That's right, Victoria agreed. When Adam is happy, at least we can see him focusing more on his long-term goals. Hopefully this time it will work out. Conclusion: mixed emotions. Today's family meeting ended with mixed emotions. The Newmans, despite their own concerns about Adam and Chelsea's reunion, couldn't deny their joy at seeing them back together. Despite their predictions about the future, everyone in the family knew that no one could predict what would happen. However, one thing was certain: Adam and Chelsea's relationship, even though it had just begun, had brought new waves to the Newman family, and Genoa City couldn't help but follow every development in this love story. In the world of intrigue and constant plotting of the Newman family, love and betrayal were always intertwined, creating a complex picture whose outcome no one could predict. The relationship between Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson is one of the most tumultuous love stories, not only because of their past but also because of the pressure from family members. Meanwhile, the work relationships are no less tense, especially with the appearance of Aristotle Dumas, a mysterious figure who seems to be luring Billy Abbott into a risky plan that could destroy the Abbott family. Nikki warns Victor about Adam and Chelsea. Although the Newman family always has grand reunions, the atmosphere is not always warm and pleasant. The relationship between Adam and Chelsea, after they decide to reunite, has caused many family members to worry. Nikki, always the one who is calm and cautious in every situation, cannot ignore her doubts about the stability of this relationship. When Adam and Chelsea decided to get back together, they felt as if they had overcome all the challenges of the past. Chelsea, with her high hopes for a bright future, felt that Victor would be the biggest supporter of the relationship. She believed that the Newman family, especially Victor, would see the change in Adam and agree to support their love. When the two of them got home, Chelsea was excited but also worried about how her family would react. "You think Victor will be happy to see us back together, right?" Chelsea asked Adam, her eyes filled with anticipation. Adam, whose confidence had been bolstered by Victor's promises of change in the past, looked at Chelsea and smiled slightly. "I'm sure Victor will understand, and will convince everyone who was against the relationship," Adam said, his voice filled with confidence. He felt that this time things would be different. They've both been through so much, and now it's time to start over. However, Adam knows deep down that the road ahead won't be easy. Despite Victor's support, he can't help but feel the doubts of other family members, especially Nikki and Victoria. Phyllis is angry at Billy, while Adam and Chelsea are trying to make their relationship work. Another crisis is brewing in the Abbott world. Phyllis Summers, who is always hot-tempered and not afraid to speak her mind, is furious with Billy Abbott for a decision she feels has let her down. Billy, who is trying to restore his career and family relationships, couldn't have foreseen the backlash from Phyllis. She can't understand why Billy would let Abbott Communications fall into the hands of Aristotle Dumas, a man with shady connections and unclear motives. Phyllis refused to accept that Billy had lost his chance to restore the Abbott family, just because of a promise of revenge that Dumas had made. Phyllis could not contain her emotions as she confronted Billy. "Billy, you are throwing away everything we have built," Phyllis shouted. "You are letting Aristotle Dumas control us. This is a serious setback." Billy, though feeling guilty, was determined not to reveal the reason behind his decision. "I can't share everything with you right now, Phyllis," Billy said, his face somewhat tense. "Aristotle had his reasons and I have to follow them." Phyllis, unable to understand Aristotle's motives, began to feel confused. She decided to investigate this man herself. Phyllis investigates Aristotle Dumas. Curious about the mysteries surrounding Aristotle Dumas, Phyllis began to search for information about him on the internet. However, what she discovers leaves her puzzled. Despite his long and powerful resume, there is strangely no picture of Aristotle Dumas online. Not a single picture, not a single trace of this man, which makes Phyllis even more skeptical about his real existence. Phyllis can't help but wonder if Aristotle Dumas is a fake name or a character with a deeper agenda that Billy is unaware of. She decides to find out the truth about him because if not, everything they are doing could soon fall apart. Mysteries and unrevealed truths. With tensions rising between the Newman and Abbott families, unrevealed mysteries threaten every decision the main characters make. Adam and Chelsea's relationship has yet to be fully accepted by the Newman family, and predictions about their future continue to be a big question mark. Meanwhile, Phyllis is delving deeper into the story of Aristotle Dumas, a man whose influence may be more profound than anyone could have imagined. In the world of the young and the restless, nothing is as it seems. Love, betrayal, and intrigue lurk, waiting to be revealed at crucial moments. As these mysteries unravel, the unpredictable results will change the lives of everyone in the Newman and Abbott families. Subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest news.